Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today is the last of the series on Super NES, and that's going to be Dragon Warrior 4. Again, this is a Japanese game that was lovingly translated for all of us non-Japanese speaking peoples. So it'll probably be another slightly quicker game. This one I am not as familiar with as most of the other ones. I know this is like Final Fantasy, where up until recently, a lot of these didn't get released in the United States, and what we know of as certain ones were actually different numbers than intended or original. Like in the case of Final Fantasy, where Final Fantasy 3 is actually Final Fantasy 6. I feel like the Dragon Warrior 4 we played on NES is a different game than this one. And maybe it's because it's been a while, but this one definitely feels more like it was a true Super NES game, especially. It's a hell of an intro. It kind of feels like, what was it, Final Fantasy 5, I think, with the dragons at the beginning. Again, like, the intro, we don't have to worry about the menu, but I feel like it's going to be exactly like 3, where we get our hopes up that, hey, we're going to be able to bypass all that and then turn around and, after we do all this, go back to the mainstay of Dragon Warrior, which is the menu system. Partially feel like they kept it because it was, you know, one of the things that differentiated Dragon Warrior from like Final Fantasy, because at first glance they look the same. Like, because of the sprite work, because of, you know, the NES or the SNES aesthetics and everything, the two companies make their games look very, very similar. And you would feel like you're playing another Final Fantasy game. or vice versa. But the menu system is definitely what differentiates one from the other. Frozen. Or just very... Oh, no, yeah, we're getting raised into the air. Yeah, I don't remember this at all. I feel like this is, like I said, different numbered from Japan to America because of the fact that we're missing some, and they didn't want to release like 1, 2, 3, 8. So oof. It is funny that they do that, where the intro, you're able to just do everything by the button, and then as soon as the game starts, like I said, you wind up with the... It is more fluent, and it feels a little quicker. Obviously, being on Super NES, like, you know, it's going to be more fluid, quicker, more responsive. And I like that you don't have to be exactly in front of them for it. I know before, stuff like this would be hit and miss on the originals, where if it were registers, oops. Alright, well, let's just go get this going. Alright, well, this isn't one of the ones where you kind of force them to move, more so. I like that they implemented that in a few of the games, where when you're there, you do it, and they kind of just start moving. This one, not as much. You know what this reminds me of a little bit is Chrono Trigger. Like waking up after like all this stuff, and then we're having a festival. Alright, info. We got a stick and a tunic. Do we have gold? Does not show gold in this one. Alright. So where does it show our gold at? That's weird. Usually it has a, when we do the info, a second little window somewhere that shows how much gold we have. And I don't know why we don't have any information on our gold. Is kind of interesting. I don't like that. That's really weird. I'm trying to see if I'm missing it somewhere. Power, speed, no, like, nothing. That's a little disappointing. Like, you don't know where you're at with trying to, like, do any kind of gold. We actually have to go into here to actually know where we're at with gold. That's kind of disappointing. I don't know why they did that. Bamboo spear. But the copper sword is just so much better that it's probably it would be worthwhile to farm the gold if we really needed to. I don't think we're going to get far enough in there for now to bother with that. And nobody likes to watch an hour-long gold farm session just to get some gear. I want to see what combat's like, how everything plays out. So the typical we're starting off with a higher enemy than slimes, it would appear. Jesus, that was a lot. Like, we got whooped. Oh, we have 0 spell. Now, we get there. Are we gonna fight on the top screen too, or is it gonna be different? Where we're actually only... Okay, we are going to fight here. Alright. We definitely need to run, because we will not survive that. Boy, they start things off kind of rough, don't they? Now, were we supposed to bring somebody? I thought he said something about... I was half paying attention. Let's go back up and talk to him again. I thought he said something about maybe somebody coming with us. Oh, no, to the town of... Alright, I thought he... Nope. He's just like, hey, yeah, go fight a bunch of monsters and drop off our stuff for us. I mean, we did find a couple of herbs, but still. Can we use our house as an inn? I mean, this isn't our house, but still. They do start you off with a lot of stuff in barrels at the very beginning, if you are inclined to actually search stuff. We need to rest. Let's see if we can rest at home. Okay, yeah, we can rest at home. So I feel like this is definitely a game where you're gonna need to start off by farming right outside of town, because the mandrakes are brutal right out the gate, and we really don't have much to offer as far as damage goes at first. Oh, that barrel's stingy. We've been finding 10, and now it's like 3. Alright, so yeah. Friend is a fool. So yeah, I mean, all in all, it looks like a good game. Nothing standing out to be unique other than like actually transitioning zones like this is not necessarily unique, but hasn't been seen as much except when you actually go into caves and dungeons and such. So the fact that it's like a little thing on the map, hey, it's new slimes. Still can't pick and choose which enemy you're attacking, but it does seem to attack the same one over and over again, so that's good. So 1 gold and 1 experience apiece from those. Okay, we can fight this. Although just barely, I feel like. Alright, as long as he hits us for the 1, we're good. It seems like we're less likely to be attacked on the over menu than inside of like the instance, so to speak. But not that we won't be attacked there. At least with a free rest at the start, so you can farm cheaper than you would normally without having to stay at an inn. So that's always nice. But all in all, like, it looks like a very well done Dragon Warrior game. I might actually think about playing this. What is our stats info? Do we have... Yeah, we don't even have, like, the amount of experience needed. I wonder if the priest will tell us, like the king normally does. Let's go see what let's just go see what he has to say, because he is going to be the closest thing to king. See, that's the one thing, again, that's different, is you actually have to go and ask how much experience you need to level up, where a lot of RPGs, you know, have everything right in your status screen. There's something to be said about that, though, honestly, that kind of is not only unique, but kind of telling, where you don't really necessarily know how much experience you need, but someone powerful can tell you, hey, you need this much more, whatever. I want to get a little... I don't want to do too much because, like I said, we're gonna have to do a bit of farming in order to really get to a spot where we can start playing. Because as it stands now, with a stick and a cotton shirt, we're not going to be doing a whole lot. Especially seeing how virtually everything we're getting attacked by multiple enemies at once. This will get us our level. We should live through it. Barely, but we lived through it. Now the question is, do we level up when we do? Do we get full health? Or do we just level up and still have to heal? I like this screen as opposed to usually where it just kind of says, oh, you did this. I like how we get a big right out the bat so you can see everything instead of slowly scrolling. Okay, so we don't heal. There aren't many monsters. All we've done is fight monsters. Alright, so we are pretty weak right now, so we definitely need to heal. Let's just work our way this way and see what happens. We're stronger now, but not enough. Our weapon's not overcompensating for our lack of... Or our power's not overcompensating our lack of weaponry. There we go. 7 instead of 4 and 5. That's better. So we used a herb. We got an herb. Do we have to do the cave, it looks like? Alright, info, what we got? Defense is 10. Make sure that is... I'm pretty sure that's going to be better, right? The other thing, yeah, defense 7. The other thing I've always been kind of hit or miss on a lot of these games, more so Dragon Warrior, is no information unless you're in a shop as to, you know, the being equipped and what kind of stats you're going to get. Oof. We are in trouble, I think. Let's see, fight item. We are going to have to use a medical herb or we are not going to survive this. I mean, we are doing better now that we have skills as well as spells. That's interesting. Do we have no battle skills? It's kind of cool that we do have skills and spells. At least the slimes are posing no real threat anymore, where they were slightly prior. All right. I still really am upset, honestly, about the fact that we do not have anything as far as how much gold we have. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it really does. Like, trying to be like, hey, are we close to maybe I go back to town and buy a sword or something? But we have no information on how much gold we actually have, which is very disappointing. Actually, I want to go fall down this other side here. It is always interesting too, like one of the mandrakes, they were separated and the other ones they're not. They're still doing about the same amount of damage. We're doing a little more. I mean, we need that. A club? I mean, better than a stick. It is funny that it's synonymous that Dragon Warrior always has the Cypress stick. There's always specific, too, on Cypress. It's not a staff, it's not this, that, it is a Cypress stick. The club is doing us a lot better. So we can go ahead and heal then. And as always, we are always limited to how much we can carry. A certain game, sometimes we have like the infinite... Jesus, we are falling. Storage space, like most Final Fantasies, and then we have the limited space. I would like to see what kind of starts off our actual quest. Is more what I'm kind of interested in. Like how the story is going to actually bring us into the fold and have us actually... Because most of the other ones start off, we're the hero, we just go right into it. But this one, we're just a kid at the moment, so... Actually, let's go see if we missed any chests in here. Or is it just an up and around kind of thing? I like when we start getting faster than enemies so we can take less damage. So I'm not seeing the chest and... Oh, look at that. We're fighting a... Let's get rid of the bat first. Yep, bat is definitely stronger. Oh, damn. We are... Yep, I knew the bat. Oh, we were going to die. Ah, boo. I think we're going to lose half our gold, right? Let's see if there's any penalties to death in this one. Because we should be... Yep. I mean, we were at like 100. So we must have got to about 140. We lost half of our gold. Yep. Alright. Disappointing. Little frustrating. We probably shouldn't have went through the cave. Should have just went with what we were doing, called it a day. Would have been a better idea, and we would have probably made it to town. But hey, we gambled and lost on that one. I should have paid more attention to our health, too. Oh, bats this time, huh? And of course, we blow right through them that time. You gotta love it when stuff like that happens, right? Where it's like one time you can't do anything, the next time you breeze through them like it was nothing. But the other time was the one that mattered. Alright, let's do this. I'm just very curious on what they're going to do for story-wise. Like, is it going to be cheesy and kind of stupid, or are we actually going to have something worthwhile? Oh, don't tell me this isn't in. Ah, that's just wrong, dude. That's hilarious. If we would have moved right there, we would have gotten in. That's funny. That is funny. We would have cost us 10 gold instead of what, 75? What can you do, right? Oops. I do like that they do that. Like, it makes you go around the other side. So southwest is this way. So we'll go this way. We don't need an inn. Thieves Key, Fairy Water, alright. Like in a lot of other games, like you have a couple nods, but like a lot of difference. But they really, one thing I did love about the Dragon Warrior series, Dragon Quest, is that they really kept so much through every single game. Like they didn't mix things up and like change names of everything. It's always the same items, a lot of the same gear through every single, you know, you got the cypress stick, the club, the copper sword, always through every single Dragon Warrior of all time, always the same. And I really like that they, you know, maintain the roots of the game where it almost feels like every single game is in the exact same, you know, the world, which a lot of them are. They all have a consistency. Alright, he wants 330. Do we actually go through and find somebody? And there's the scale armor. and the scale shield. And a lot of times the actual prices are almost always the same through most of the games as well. Sometimes they'll change by like 10, 20 gold or whatever, but they're usually pretty much the same too, which again is really interesting and something I really like. Alright, so she's 350. So yeah, we actually go through and haggle until we find somebody willing to give us the most. And one fairy water or 50 gold, huh? I'm going to do that. Even though we're probably not going to get to the point where we need that. That's funny. I like how they're like, will you buy from me? I'm not going to tell you what, but it'll cost you this. Alright, so we got 360 over there. Alright, what else we got? Didn't we need the crown too? Isn't that half the reason we're here? Are we gonna have to go save the dude? I think we might have to go save the dude. But first, we gotta sell our goods. Looks like that's everything, right? So we buy from that dude? The bank, alright. Alright, so we double checked everything. It looks like that's going to be the case. Let's go talk just in case. Alright. So it looks like that is going to do it, right? I don't think there's going to be anybody in here buying stuff. Alright, it's definitely not going to be in the church. That's just... Alright, so we sold what we needed to. That's a good deal because I believe that, like, the fairy water alone is like 20 or so gold. I believe so. So just 5 of those is going to be almost what we paid for. Anyways, alright, so I guess we are going to be going to the forest. love the enemies from Dragon Warrior, though. They are always... Half of them are funny. Like, these guys, through the last couple... Kissing caterpillars. It's just funny. Alright, we probably should have waited, and damn, we got some stuff from that one, didn't we? Alright, let's... Alright, we made it. Good, 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 good. Got a lot of gold from that dude. 21 from the 3 is actually really decent. So anyways, that is Dragon Warrior 4 on Super NES. It looks like a really good game. I might continue playing it later on. So we're going to save it and go from there. And this will keep us, we'll have us start here if we die too. What do we need? 22. So if we pretty much kill one more of those dudes, we, Alright guys, well thank you for joining me. Till next time, you have a good one, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.